Who doesn't love a good horror movie? I mean, most people love the thrill of being frightened. And that's all good until the dumb decisions start coming into play. Every time you watch a horror movie where the killer is just walking after his victims, and then the victims are tripping all over the place, you know the movie's going to be filled with characters making dumb decisions, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. Hey YouTube, I'm Court McGinley and welcome back to the most amazing top 5. Before we get started, I want to know, what's your favorite horror movie? Let me know your answers down in the comments. And before we get started, I just want to remind you guys to please subscribe to this amazing channel. We bring you guys new videos 6 days a week. And don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and let me know down in the comments what other top 5 lists you would like to see me do in the future. Alright, without further ado, let's get started on our list of the top 5 dumbest decisions in horror movies. Starting off at number 5, Prom Night. Yeah, by the title alone, you know this movie is just going to be full of teens making the wrong choices. So, 2 of the biggest horror movie mistakes are thinking the police will capture the killer and hiding under the bed. This movie has both. So in this movie, we have a teen who had a teacher for a stalker. He was in prison but just so happened to break out on her prom night. Very convenient. Instead of the cops keeping this teen in a secure location, they let her go to prom, which is taking place in a hotel. Yeah, it's hard to say who makes worse decisions in this movie, the teens or the cops. So of course the stalker finds her in her room. She tries to hide and goes under the bed, but spoiler alert, he immediately finds her. In at number 4, Scream, a classic horror movie where people make really stupid decisions. In this movie there's a character called Tatum Riley. In one scene we have Tatum in the garage getting more beers when the killer shows up and he tries to kill her. But then all of a sudden she makes the really stupid decision of trying to crawl through the pet door, which is clearly way too small for her, so she gets stuck. And the pet door happens to be attached to the automatic garage door. The killer then raises the garage door while she's stuck in it and she dies. At number 3, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D. This one just hurts my brain because I don't know how these teenagers could be so stupid. So the killer's after them like, OMG, better get out of there. Their other friend must have heard all the commotion because she comes to the rescue and yells at them to get in the car. They're in the car speeding away towards freedom, but the killer is chasing after them with the chainsaw. He must have been able to tell how stupid they were and that they'd mess up. It looks like they're home free. They've been driving for a while, clearly far away from the killer. They then approach an automatic gate, and instead of pushing the button and waiting like the 10 seconds it would take for the gate to open, they decide it would be a much better idea to crash through it. Obviously, that doesn't work. So they back up and try to open the gate this time. So the gate's opening, but now the car doesn't want to start because it got messed up when they rammed into the gate. Also, through the back window of the car, they see the killer approaching, and instead of getting out of the car and running, they just sit there screaming and crying. Yeah, there was a lot wrong with this movie. Coming in at number 2, Saw. This one has bugged me since the first time I saw this movie back in 2004. It's just really stupid. So in the first Saw movie, we have a trap where 2 men are chained by the ankle to a pipe on opposite corners of the room. Between them was a corpse of a man who shot himself in the head and a cell phone which is just out of their reach. The guys then find a tape. After playing the tape from Jigsaw, they follow the clues and one of the men finds a plastic bag in the toilet tank in the room. In the bag is a pair of hacksaws. The guys immediately attempt to cut off the chain from their leg, but soon realize that the saw wasn't strong enough to cut through the chain, and they were actually meant to cut off their foot. Now remember that phone that was just out of reach? Yeah, well one of the men, Dr. Gordon, doesn't realize that he could have just used the saw to grab the phone instead of cutting off his foot. I thought doctors were supposed to be intelligent and quick thinking. Yeah, what the heck was that about? Coming in at number 1, Halloween. This is one that always confused me because it was so easily avoidable. In the beginning of the 8th installment in the franchise Halloween Resurrection, Laurie finally captures Michael Myers. They're up on the roof and she has him dangling upside down with his foot caught in a rope. All she had to do was cut the rope and he would fall off the roof to his death and her nightmare would be over once and for all. But of course she doesn't do that because that's the obvious thing to do. She starts to cut the rope but then stops to take off his mask to see if the person who's been trying to kill her all these years is in fact her brother. But for whatever reason she seems to have forgotten the fact that his hands are still free. So obviously when Laurie goes to grab the mask, he grabs her arm, the rope begins to unravel, they both fall over the side, Michael grabs onto the roof and to Laurie, and then he literally stabs her in the back and then she falls to her death. And there you have it, that's the list of the top 5 dumbest decisions in horror movies. Thank you guys so much for watching and I'll catch you in the next one.